It was an ordinary autumn night in Barron, Wisconsin, the kind of place where people still leave their doors unlocked, where life moves at a pace more measured than most parts of the world, the kind of place where bad things are supposed to happen somewhere else. People walk their dogs along quiet roads. Kids wait for the school bus at the end of long gravel driveways. Everyone knows everyone, or thinks they do. Jamie Klaus was a typical 13-year-old girl, not wildly outgoing, but not particularly shy either. A little quiet, maybe. She lived with her parents, James and Denise, in a modest home tucked away in a wooded area just off Highway 8. It wasn't fancy, but it was theirs. Jamie went to middle school like every other kid in town. She liked music. She had a few close friends. Life was as normal as it gets, until one night, it wasn't. On October 15, 2018, at around 12:53 a.m., the Barron County 911 dispatch center received a call. No one spoke on the other end. Just noise, some shuffling, a commotion. It was enough to raise alarm. Within 4 minutes, deputies were racing down dark back roads, red and blue lights piercing the rural blackness. When they arrived, they found the front door blasted open. James and Denise Klaus were dead, both shot with a shotgun. Jamie was gone, vanished. There were no signs of a struggle involving her, no blood trail, no footprints in the yard that pointed to which way she might have gone. It was as if she had evaporated into the night air. The entire state went into high alert. Police launched a massive manhunt. Posters with Jamie's face were plastered across gas stations, schools, and rest stops. Amber alerts blared on phones and radios. Every possible lead was chased down. Was she kidnapped? Did she witness the murder and run away? Was she still alive? Days turned into weeks. Weeks bled into months. The air turned sharp and bitter with Wisconsin winter. Snow piled high against fences. Hope began to freeze. Then, on January 10, 2019 to 2088 days later, Jamie came running out of the woods. She was barefoot, dirty, her hair matted, her body frail. She was spotted by Jean Nutter, a woman walking her dog in the tiny town of Gordon, about 70 miles north of where Jamie had last been seen. Jamie rushed toward her and cried out, "I'm Jamie Klaus. I need help." Nutter took her to the nearest house and called 911. "We have her," she told the dispatcher. "Jamie Klaus is alive." The moment was like a heartbeat restarting after being flatlined. Across Wisconsin and the entire country, people sat stunned, elated, confused. How had this girl survived nearly 3 months in the dead of winter? Where had she been? Who had taken her? The answers were more terrifying than anyone expected. His name was Jake Thomas Patterson, a 21-year-old nobody. No criminal record, no major warning signs. He had recently quit the Marines after just 5 weeks and bounced around a few jobs, none of which lasted. His last attempt was working at a cheese factory, but he didn't even make it through the first day. And that's where the horror began. On his way to that job interview, Patterson found himself stuck behind a school bus. That's when he saw Jamie for the first time. She was just getting on. There was nothing unusual about her. She didn't stand out. But for some reason, in that exact moment, something inside Patterson snapped or ignited. He decided he was going to take her. There was no history between them. No online conversations. No casual meetings at a store. She didn't even know he existed. There had been no grooming, no manipulation, no warning, nothing. It was random. And that randomness, that complete absence of logic or reason, is what makes this story so horrifying. It wasn't a crime of passion or revenge. It was simply the decision of a sick young man who, out of nowhere, chose to shatter a family's life. He spent 2 weeks planning the abduction. He shaved his head and face to avoid leaving DNA behind. He swapped out the license plates on his car. He even bought a black mask and gloves. He did practice runs to Jamie's house but turned back if he saw cars in the driveway or lights on. And then, when the night finally came, he executed it with brutal efficiency. Patterson pulled into the Klaus family driveway, got out of his car with a shotgun, and approached the door. James Klaus, hearing the noise, came to investigate. Patterson shot him through the front door without hesitation. He then stormed into the house, found Denise and Jamie hiding in the bathroom, and shot Denise while she was holding her daughter. He stuffed Jamie into the trunk of his car, drove off into the night, and vanished before the police could arrive. From that moment on, Jamie was a ghost, trapped, alone. Patterson brought Jamie to his family's remote cabin in Gordon, Wisconsin, a tiny, snow-blanketed town with just a few scattered homes and thick, dark woods. There, he kept her under his control in a windowless room beneath his bed. He blocked off the area with totes, weights, and bins so she couldn't escape. He told her that if she tried to run, he would kill her, and she believed him. For 88 days, she was kept like that. He would force her to hide when he had guests or family over. At times, he hid her. Sometimes, he would leave for hours or even days, locking her in. She had no access to news, no phone, no idea what the world outside was doing, or if anyone was even still looking for her. But despite the fear and the hopelessness, Jamie paid attention. She watched where Patterson placed things. She counted how many doors she heard open and close. She memorized the layout. She knew she couldn't overpower him, but she might outsmart him. And on January 10th, she got her chance. Patterson told her he was going out. She waited until she was sure the coast was clear. Then, barefoot and terrified, she ran. She didn't look back. The aftermath, Jake Patterson was arrested within hours. Jamie had described his car and cabin in detail. He confessed immediately, showing little emotion. During questioning, he said, "I knew I was going to get caught. I did it." But his casual tone was bone-chilling. He described the murders as if they were transactions. Jamie, he said, was the girl I was going to take. He didn't even use her name at first, just the girl. Patterson was charged with 2 counts of first-degree intentional homicide, 1 count of kidnapping, and 1 count of armed burglary. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. He showed no real remorse, just resignation. Jamie, on the other hand, became a symbol of strength. In a statement released through her family, she said, "I will always have moments when I'm scared or sad, but I am stronger than he will ever be." She returned to school, tried to pick up the pieces of her childhood. It wasn't easy. The scars, both visible and invisible, don't fade overnight. But her community surrounded her with love. People sent letters, donations, cards. A complete stranger gave her family $25,000 to help them rebuild. What makes Jamie's story linger is not just the crime, but the nature of it, the pure randomness. There was nothing her parents could have done differently. No warning signs to report, no suspicious messages to catch. A complete stranger saw her one day and decided to abduct her. That's it. That's what haunts people. We spend our lives trying to stay safe. We lock our doors. We watch what our kids do online. We teach them not to talk to strangers. But this came from nowhere. It forces us to confront a hard truth. Sometimes, evil just shows up. No reason, no explanation. Just a dark twist in the road that no one saw coming. But Jamie's survival also reminds us of something else. Something stronger. Resilience. She was 13 years old, held captive, her parents murdered, alone in a world of fear, and she survived. She didn't give up. She waited, she watched, and when her chance came, she ran. That kind of strength can't be taught. It's something deeper, something hardwired into the human spirit, something even monsters can't destroy. Epilogue today, Jamie Kloss lives a quieter life. Her relatives shield her from the spotlight, trying to give her space to heal and grow. Every once in a while, her name comes back into the news, usually with updates about her progress or efforts to support other kidnapped children. But most of the time, she's just a young woman trying to move forward, trying to live, and that's exactly what she deserves.